I'm going to present Pentesting iOS applications for fun and profit. So a quick disclaimer, all the views are my own and you should always take a legal permission before pentesting any application. So I'll just do this thing. I want to make sure that the session is very interactive and all of you are gets involved in the session. So I want to know how many of you are hacker years and how many of you are like you can say the developers, like who only developers, or how many of you are like both, like developer plus hackers? Come on, I want all of you to participate. Like it will be fun. Otherwise, it will be only I'll be speaking and you'll be listening, right? So okay, pen tester both awesome, auditor awesome, only pen tester, wow. Final year student, hacker, security researcher, wow, okay, just undergrad, okay. So we don't have any I think we have a couple of developers as well, right? Security analyst, bug bounty hunter, wow, nice. Security researchers, great. Okay, so I think we have very few developers, but the talk will be for both. It's going to be for pen testers. It's going to be for the security, like security people as well. Okay, so I'm sure that the talk is going to be very interesting for both of the audience. Okay, so just give me 1 second. Okay, so a quick introduction of me. I work as head of security for HackerU India. I basically manage the red team program here in terms of technical delivery for this the training course. I have almost 8 years of industry experience, and all of my experience is in cybersecurity. I started my career as a security consultant with Persistent, and then I've worked across different companies. I've worked across different countries. I have experience working with US-based companies, European-based companies, then Southeast Asian companies. And my experience is all about like security in terms of product security or security consulting. I'm Cobalt core pen tester since 2016. So when the Cobalt started pen testing as a service platform, I'm part of this platform since 2016. And I have worked on so many pen tests, which includes the mobile, web, infra, cloud security, thick application, and many other type of pen tests. But I have the special interest. You can see that I have worked almost all type of pen tests, but I have special interest in iOS pen testing because my first bounty was in iOS. When I started my bug bounty career, I spent lots of time, but initially I got lots of duplicate in web application when I reported bugs in web application, but when I reported in iOS application, the bug got accepted and I got a huge bounty for my first bug. So from that moment, iOS is something very special to me. I hold the other certifications like OSC, OSCP, and others certifications. I have spoken in more than 10 countries and in many conferences, AppSec USA, last year, DEF CON, AppSec Village, AppSec Israel, and many other conferences all around the world. And I don't know how many of you know, I'm also OWASP IGOT project lead. Okay, so this project is dedicated for iOS security, and I have done lots of bug bounties in the past. I'm also one of the top bug bounty hunters in some platforms, but somehow in nowadays I don't get that much time for bug bounty. And I have authored 2 books. The first book I had published just after my college. I was so excited to land, like to have some career in cybersecurity. And you can just say that this book I had written only for fun. And still accidentally you can say that this book is still, it got lots of popularity, maybe mostly by the college or the students. And the second book you can say is more professional, where you will learn like in corporate world, like how to do step by step iOS pen testing. So that is the second book. And the both books are very popular. And guys, this is the twist. As I said, I want to make this session very interactive. You can attend this session, and I have spent lots of time creating this session. If you like this session, you just have to tweet it like what you liked in this presentation. And few of you, I will just send these books to few of the tweets. Wherever you are in the world, I will make sure that the books reach to you, and it will also come to it will also motivate me that you attended my session and you like something in the session. So this is my Twitter handler if you want to post anything about this today's session. Okay, and the one more thing is I also blog at the blog .swarupsy.com, where I also post the lots of tutorials. And recently I had created the blogs on the topics, like few of the self-claimed you can say researchers. They try to defame the Indian government apps, and I wrote these blogs because those allegations were against the mobile applications of Indian government. And these apps were launched basically for pandemic and just to keep track of this patient. And all the security issues mentioned were like low severity. Okay, I'm going to explain that, like why these issues are basically low severity. Because these issues come across almost in almost all the applications. So and all the issues the reported were low severity, but it was said that the these apps can be hacked, all the Indian peoples can be get hacked, and so many things happen. So I have just done technical analysis of the allegations, and if you're interested, as it's mobile security related, you can definitely go and read about it. And yeah, that's something, the missing part. Last year, this photo is from Las Vegas, like DEFCON and like backhand events. And I still remember, I know almost all of them, and I still remember that. So I know this year is going to be, everything is virtual, but I just want to say that we cannot replace these conferences, these meetings with the virtual meets. It's just something you can say in Indian words, we have the jugaad, right? Just we are, having these sessions, but I would definitely prefer meeting all of you in person, having chit chat and sharing the awesome stories. Okay. So hope to meet you all soon in person. So today's agenda is, first we'll talk about the why to care about mobile security, what is a mobile application security scenario. The case studies, as I said, I do a lots of pen testing on the mobile, and I'm going to share the critical findings or the interesting findings, I would say, from these mobile application pen tests. Then what could be the risk to your mobile application security, a brief about OWASP Migrate project, and a bit about the technical analysis of how was the attack done, and also some tips and tricks which you can use while you're doing the pen testing, or if you're a bug bounty hunter, how you can make use of the similar findings or similar approach in terms of getting the good findings. The first thing is why we should care about the mobile security. Okay, so if you see the human evolution, right, we the evolution of the human, now we are all are going into the digital world. Similarly, I can see a huge change or transform in the way we use the digital world. If you remember a few years back, you used to open the laptop and used to shop, and you used to do the transactions. Everything was like big, the PCs, then it came to the small laptops, then iPad, and now most of day-to-day things we do on the mobiles, right? Who opens the laptop or who opens the big screens and do all of these, the most day-to-day life. I'm not talking about the security or pen testing. Definitely we will, the laptop is or the systems we will use, but just a regular person in day-to-day life, we are more rely on these smartphones. And you can see that the most of the companies, they are also saying that the more traffic for them is from the mobile application and not from the you can say web application. The traffic is increasing day by day, mostly in the shopping websites or the cab bookings, and we have tons of applications. And you can say that all the social media, you can say more than 50% traffic is it comes from the mobile application. This screenshot is still 2018, and I'm sure that in 2020, especially in pandemic, these numbers would have spiked incredibly. And so just consider that right now you have a mobile with you. I'm sure a few of you might be attending this talk in this from this from the mobile application as well, right? So right now you have your mobile in your pocket. That phone has the financial application. So I'm sure you must be making the purchase, the PayPal, or the transfer applications where you are linked to your credit cards. You make transfers, you send money, you make purchases. So right now you have the several apps which are handling the financial data. Then you have the healthcare applications where you can book the appointments with the doctor. You can discuss about the diseases, the allergies you have. The doctor might prescribe you the medicines you should take. And so you have the healthcare applications or the applications which handles this healthcare information. And then you will have the social networking applications like LinkedIn, Twitter, and many more, which where you have the private photos, personal messages. And then I'm sure all of you must be playing the PUBG and many other games where you have your rankings, where you have scores. So my point is, right now you have the smartphone with you, where your identity is with in your phone. You have the financial applications, so which handles your financial data. You have the healthcare application, where is all about your healthcare information is there. Then you have the social networking applications there, where you have your all your private things in your life. And then you have the gaming applications. So you can say the one device has almost very critical data is getting handled right at the moment. And if you see in today's world, everything is getting smart. I have the smart lights, the smart refrigerator, so which we can operate from the mobile application. So if you see the entry point for these smart devices, again it is the mobile application. If you visit the Japan, then they have very cool these smart toilets. Then you have the, I'm sure all of you will have the smart TVs. Then you have the smart, you can say the lockers, then smart washing machine. So I'm saying that everything, all the devices around us are becoming smart, and the entry point, it could be like both applications, like Android applications and iOS application. So even if you're doing the IoT pen testing, definitely the beginning point or the starting point will be the mobile application. So you might many times you might get the firmware links which are getting called from the cloud, and many other interesting data from the mobile application itself. So you can say the mobile applications has these are the very important in these days in terms of security. And now iOS security for app pen testers, or the OS, even the OS pen testers, you can say that the hacker was rewarded $75,000 for the loopholes in the Safari. So Apple also make payments for, or make payouts for the issues which find in the operating systems or the underlying applications. And this post is from the April 2020, okay, in this year. And I don't know how many of you know, recently you can say that the Apple has launched a security research device program, where they will provide you the Apple device, and where you can do all of your research. And also it's as of now it's in limited edition, where you can apply, and based on your eligibility they will ship this device. And more about this program you can find, there's a link at the bottom, in this bottom. Yeah, and the most important, we already studied that why it's important to take care of mobile application security, as mobile application is handling all type of data, right? The financial, healthcare, your private messages, then it's entry point for your IoT devices. And if you even look at the software as a service model, right? The SaaS platform, nowadays all the companies are also offering their, like, they already have the web application, but they are also have the mobile application as a product, like iOS or Android applications, because it's like it makes more convenient. So, but what about the security of these mobile applications? So I visit many conferences, I meet many people, I you can say visit many managers, and I'm always curious that how they ensure the security of their mobile applications, right? And I always ask them how you ensure the security of your mobile applications. And their response is like this: we secure backend. Okay, they're just, okay, what you're talking about, right? Because if you see in mobile application, the most of the part is you can say the APIs, right? Even the 70% is APIs or the backend where your mobile application gets connected, and like 30-40% is your native code. It could be Objective-C, it could be Swift, or in terms of Android, it could be the Java code, right? It's like native code will be, you can say the kind of 30-40%, right? And even if you study the part like why this is the condition is most part of mobile app is backend. Even if you take any application, there is backend, there is APIs, and for web application and for APIs are lots of tools. And even in the CI/CD pipeline, you can easily integrate the different tools for the API security, and you can ensure the your product security or application security program. So security focus is I observed that it's more focused towards the back end comparing to your front end code. And like you have these several free and commercial tool, and I'm sure many of you already done the WhatsApp integration with the APIs like in your CI/CD pipeline, so where you automatically get the security reports for your builds, right? So you can say there are tons of free and commercial tools for the APIs, and front end is one of the neglected part, right? So not all the you can say that maybe the skills lacks, or there are not several people to do that. Even the tools are also not that sophisticated that they will do automated pen testing of mobile application. And even I would say that if some companies are claiming that there is a, oh, we have the 100% automated mobile app pen testing, I would say they are lying, because believe me, it's very complicated in terms of mobile applications. So you really need a hardware when you are doing the actual pen test for the app store applications. So now this is the interesting part. I'm going to discuss some of the case studies. First, I'll discuss some stats I found from the mobile application pen test. And then I'm going to discuss about some case studies, like how I was able to, get some interesting findings during this iOS pen test. So in 100 plus pen tests, I observed that it's the insecure local data storage is like 70-75%, like almost, I observed almost all of the applications, almost 70% applications had these issues. Then the again the transport layer issues were there, authentication and authorization issues were there, like almost 50-60%, and then there were also crypto issues. So I basically, after every pen test, I keep stats, like I keep some records, like what type of categories issues I found during that pen test. And then I make the stats like after like 10 pen tests, 15 pen tests, and these are the stats of overall like 100 pen tests. The first case study is accessing premium video contents for free. Okay. So as you see that during this pandemic, everything is becoming online. Okay. Uh, and though the many business got ruined, the many other companies also found that opportunity. And in if we just specifically talk about India, we had lots of like TV channels and other things, and now everything has come to the mobile applications. They are releasing the new mobile applications over the nights. They want more and more customers, and you can say this is a race. Like many companies are coming with the new mobile applications, and especially they understood that people are at home. They need something for entertainment, and I think that's the best. This is the best time to launch their applications. But you can say that what will happen when they are releasing the applications in a hurry, or when there's it's like a huge demand. Developers will be definitely under pressure, and the security might be the neglected part. And I found some interesting issues during this in these video streaming applications. So one of the applications I downloaded, okay, and it has like a free limited free video contents. Like you can just access the video contents without any login. Like there were some free movies, there were few serials, but there were some premium contents. Like there were some series. I was interested about one of the series, and that's like if you want to watch that series, they were asking for the membership. Like you need to pay some amount, or you need to take the membership for watching the premium contents. Okay. And if you try to access that, it was saying no. Like if you try to what was happening, like the again the all the images are like, you can say, dummy images. So you can say that when I was trying to access those video contents, the video was about to start, but it was interrupting. There might be some view controller, and it was saying that no, you need membership, or you need to pay for watching this premium content. Okay, but I was not in mood to pay because I already had subscribed to many other video streaming. But that series was only it was available only in that application. So you can say that the application was quite well implemented, I would say, because it had a SSL pinning implemented. It had end-to-end encryption, means even if you bypass the SSL pinning, you can't see the traffic. It was end-to-end encryption, and there were also some binary protections in the place. So you can say that though the application was quite new, it already had some security features in the place. But I was, it's a usual practice, right? When you're doing the mobile application pen test, you observe the local data storage, right? So during this local data storage analysis, I found that all the premium video content links, like whichever I was trying to access, it was there in these links were basically in this WebKit cache. So cache is basically, many applications use this cache to speed up your streaming or access to the web contents. And now what I did is I just copied these, premium video contents, the link, and I just entered into the browser, and I was able to access the premium contents without, without making any payment. So you can see that the application developers had the SSL pinning, end-to-end encryption, but they were not taking care of local data storage. And the WebKit cache was definitely leaking very sensitive information, right? The premium contains a video link. And I was able to just copy paste that link in incognito mode, and I was able to watch the premium contents, and it was for free. So that was the case study one. The second case study is pawning AWS account through iOS application. So in one of the pen tests, I got, like, most of the pen tests, they share the App Store link because it's a black box pen test. And so in one of the program, I had the iOS, you can say, App Store link, and I downloaded the app, and then I decrypted the application. If you don't know, all the applications on the iOS app stores are encrypted, and you need to decrypt that before you need to looking into the classes or the source code of the application. So I got the application, and then I decrypted the application using a Frida dump. There's a utility which I'm going to show the demo of. And then I dumped the classes, and then I found a couple of strings with the AWS, okay, like the ARN and other things. The next step I performed was loading the binary into Hopper disassembler. So it's very similar to IDA Pro if you have ever used. You can load your binary file into this disassembler, and you can see what are all the instructions or the strings in this application. And at that moment, I found a couple of strings like ARN AWS, and I got suspicious. I thought, this is the production binary, and what does this mean, like the AWS strings like ARN and other things. So I started dumping all the keywords using the strings command, and I gripped it with the AWS keys, and I finally found the access key and secret key. You can say the AWS access key and secret key into the production binary. And I checked that what was the permissions for those keys. I use the AWS CLI. Like, I'm sure many of you might be used if you have interacted with AWS, where you configure your access keys, like access key and secret key, and then you call the different resources in the AWS platform. So I checked that the keys. Okay, guys, I just want to repeat. It was iOS production binary, production application. In that, I got access key and secret key. And then I was able to access their entire AWS account, including their IAM users. So in small scales companies, you can say all the developers get the access to the AWS. So I was able to list all the IAM users, and I was like, yeah. Just by production binary, I was able to get these, access to the complete AWS of the company. And I was able to launch the EC2 instance. So the problem was on the both sides, the keys were hard coded. Definitely that was a big problem. So, and when I try to access this application, like there were already the web application firewall, they were already spending a lots of money on the other end. But guys, if there's a one mistake, right? If you are not taking care of, let's say one part, then you are screwed, right? You are taking care of other parts. You have the, full-fledged firewalls. You are monitoring the log. You have the SOC team, and you're making sure that nobody is trying to enter in our network. But some developers for the mobile application make mistakes, and then again there is another way we can just enter into that network. So I was also able to launch the EC2 instance. I just launched the free tier instance, and so just getting those keys in wrong hands can cause the big loss. Someone can just launch the hundreds and hundreds of instances, and it can basically cost millions of dollars, and someone can use those instances for Bitcoin mining, right? And those incidents were happening in the past. There were many occasions where hackers hack the AWS or the cloud accounts, and they use those instances for the Bitcoin mining. So, and the case study 3 is accessing app features. You can say that unreleased app features. So on another pen test, I observed that after the application was installed on the device, it also used to, it was creating one SQLite database, okay? And I found some QA account credentials. There was some like QA123, QA23 at the rate something, the domain name, and there were some passwords. So it's a common practice, right? So when we get the application, we analyze the local data storage. But if I just report to the company, okay, I found the QA account credentials in your local application, then it might be a problem, because it might not be a big problem for them, because they will say how you will exploit that vulnerability. So when we submit the vulnerability, there is always like the impact, and there is a likelihood. So the likelihood for this issue will be very low, because this will require the rooted device or someone, some app with sandbox bypass access, right? Someone will have to bypass the sandbox in order to access those QA account credentials. So I didn't report that, because it will be just come as a low severity. So I began to further explore, and I just thought, like, can I make this low severity on the high severity? Like, is there any way I can convert this vulnerability, the low severity, with the higher one? And so I was keep searching, keep looking for that. I stayed motivated and started looking for a few things. I found a couple of, so I started then intercepting the traffic. And during interception, I found that the app was also hitting to few other endpoints which were not listed in the programs. Those were basically, you can say that I found some backdoor entry, or you can say QA account credentials login. Like, it was basically, you can say that the some companies have the feature release in alpha, beta, and then the actual release, right? Some features are in the test mode, where developers, like, sometimes the features are released for very few user groups, okay, or few countries also. So what happened is I was able to access their all upcoming features, like what they're going to release in their Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. And you can just imagine that getting those access, or getting those features by the competent company. The fourth case study is breaking into bulletproof app and accessing anyone's private message. So just give me 1 second. Let me see if I have any questions. Okay, so demos. I will show a couple of demos in the end, and there will be also Q&A session in the end. You can feel free to ask me any questions you have regarding the topic. Okay, so the case study 4 is breaking into bulletproof app and accessing anyone's private messages. So one of the application had lots of security protections. It was the jailbreak detection, SSL pinning, end-to-end encryption. So I would say the iOS developer was definitely very smart. He had already gone through all the vulnerabilities, and he had already studied that part. Okay, so it was really, really good. I thought, like, okay, this is the very secure application, and okay, I'm not going to get anything in this application. But I was looking into that. I bypassed the SSL pinning by just SSL kill switch. You can just install that, and you can just enable this switch, and then you can bypass the SSL pinning protection. And there was a jailbreak detection as well. I bypassed that using the Hopper. As I said, like, Hopper is like, you can just load the binary into this disassembler. and it will show you the different control execution flow, like, okay, after this block, the conditions, if true, where to go, if condition is not true, where to go. So I was able to bypass that protection. So I passed that binary basically, because I was very bored to every time bypass SSL ping and bypass the jailbreak detection. And this is the Hopper disassembler. There are lots of comparison happens in that, where we can basically make changes like, okay, don't always return 0, or you can just change the execution flow as well. And I was able to bypass certain protections using Hopper as well. And this is how end-to-end encryption looks like. Okay, you can say that even if you bypass the SSL pinning, there is nowadays, you can say the developers are becoming very, very smart. And even if you bypass SSL pinning, you cannot just view the traffic in the plain text, okay? Because there is, you can see these are the, this is the encryption. You can say this is the end-to-end encryption. So there were multiple layers for the security, and I was reached to this level, like the end-to-end encryption. Again, I was able to check the hard-coded keys. I spent lots of time, and then I was able to get the encryption key. And once you get the encryption key, you can basically use this, you can say Bobsuit plugin to configure your key, and you can just uh, yeah, you can just configure this key, and you can decrypt the traffic on the fly. Okay, so this is the link. And after decrypting the traffic, though the developer had implemented lots of protection, so I bypassed the jailbreak, I bypassed the SSL pinning and end-to-end encryption. Now the API developers had made the mistake where there was an IDOR, and I was able to just change the message ID. Okay, there were some private messages in the application. Okay, and I was able to see anyone's private messages, including the CEO of that company. So you can see the developer had implemented he had implemented lots of defense mechanism on the mobile application part, but the API developers had there was an IDOR possible. I was able to just change the message IDs, and I was able to access the private messages of anyone in that company, including their CEO. So you can just say that it's a cat and mouse game, right? There might be always a vulnerability, or there might be always a chance or open door to find a security issue. Okay, so I have many case studies, but I don't have time. I can probably speak for entire day on the different interesting findings, but I don't have that much time. So let's jump back, like how we can start, like if you're a pen tester, how to start in the pen testing, or if you're a bug bounty hunter, like how you can start. So I'm just going to quickly discuss about the things. But before that, why you should, what are the risks to your mobile application security? If you're working as a product security engineer, your most important job is convincing developers that what are the possible threats to mobile application, because developers are in assumption that, okay, the jailbreaking is very difficult, or who is going to access our applications on the rooted phones, and so many assumptions which I would say wrong. So if you're working as a security engineer, the main important job is going to convince the developers that, okay, these are the risks to your mobile applications or our mobile applications, and how to how to bypass how security measures can be bypassed. And as you know, the smartphone crimes are increasing a lot. There is so much crimes. You can say there are more thefts of mobile applications comparing to the mobile devices, comparing to the stealing your wallet, because your mobile application has lots of sensitive information. Mostly the mobile application theft is rise, and in many cases the identity got stolen because you have everything in your phone. And I don't know how many of you know the jailbreaking is basically rooting of phone. So once you root your phone, you bypass all the protections in the mobile application. Okay. So jailbreak is like rooting or owning your device. So if you have the iPhone, and you can say that almost all the iPhones from iPhone 4 years to iPhone 8 and iPhone, you can say till iPhone X, all these phones can be jailbroken. Okay, the exploit is available. It's a bootstrap exploit, and it's unpatchable. It's there in the chip. So you just have to change your iPhone model. No matter which your iOS is running, you can still jailbreak your phone. So you can consider that how serious this exploit is. So it's not depend on the OS version. It's more in the, you can say, in the chip level. It's a boot ROM exploit. So this is the name of the jailbreak is a Chakra, and you can visit the website here. And if you have certain device, if you want to start pen testing, and if you want to see that, okay, I have the iPhone, iPad, iPod, and I want to check if it's kind of jailbreakable, you can just visit this website, Can I Jailbreak? You can insert your iPhone model, iPad model, and it will tell that, okay, is jailbreak available or not. And so, and many, okay, this is the very funny part. Many developers think that jailbreak requires lots of efforts. How you will do that? You need lots of cables, or you need lots of things. No, you can just send one link, you click on the link, and the phone might be rooted. Okay, so this QWERTY was, jailbreak was released for the iOS 10 version. I don't know the exact, I don't remember exact version, but where you can just click on the link from your Safari, and your phone is rooted. So it's not like it's very complicated. Even the new user, the script kiddie, or the normal day-to-day user, they can just click on that link. They might even just click on this link by mistake, and their iPhone will get rooted. And this is the interesting part. Even people think that, okay, if my phone got stolen, what you will do, like, it has the password protection. I'm sure all of you must be using the pin, right? Like, you have the 4-digit or 6-digit pin on your iPhone. So this device was basically exploiting the you can say loophole in the data recovery, you can say iOS version 10 to 10.3.3. And there was a no rate limiting, so you can just guess as many times as you can. So this, one of the researchers developed this device where you can just plug this device to with your iPhone, and this device will keep looking or keep brute forcing your pin. So it's always like, there are always the, as you know, the hackers are always one step ahead, and there are definitely, they will find one of the mistakes. And even you can see in the middle, these are the basically the pins, or the login, you can say, access pins brute forced by this device. And if you see, the cost of this device was less than 300 US dollars. So you can say that it was within $300, you can just crack the pins of multiple iPhones. But this vulnerability was applicable only to these versions. But it's not always like you need the cable or you need the device to, to bypass the pin. There was a vulnerability in iOS 12.1 where group FaceTime feature can basically, it was able to, unlock the phone. So you can just, to exploit this vulnerability, you don't need to be a security analyst or a hacker. You can just watch one YouTube video, like how to bypass the passcode using FaceTime, and you can do that. So it's not always like it's very critical. So what we can see, that hackers are always one step ahead. Okay, they will always find some loophole to bypass certain restrictions. So it's very important that developers should not assume that their phone cannot be accessed or rooted phone, or the phone keys cannot be bypassed. Okay, these are the very, very important things. And you can see the Pangu team is also one of the very famous team. Okay, uh, you can say it's a very famous team, and it's always ahead for finding the jailbreak. And it's very they're always comes with the latest jailbreaks for the different version of iOS. And this was a loophole in the Safari, okay, where you can just send the link and your phone will reboot it. And many cases the phone was also getting crashed. So you can just visit this GitHub, and don't try it on anyone, because the phone might get crashed as well. So in that case, you just have to send the link, and the phone will get rebooted. In many cases, the phone also got crashed. So I just going to show you a quick video, like how it was. Like, you can just click on this link, okay, and just watch the video. And as soon as you open the link in the Safari, the phone gets rebooted. Okay, so anyone can just do even clickjacking attack. They can send you some, the images hidden with the links. anyone with click on this links, their phone will get rebooted. And just imagine someone is doing very important work on their phone. So challenges in iOS application security are basically, you can say that the if you are a pen tester, you are definitely going to have the require the iPhone. If you ask me specifically, I have almost 10 iPhones. I do lots of research on the different phones, so I have almost all the iPhone models in the market. If you say that iOS keeps changing with its version, lack of resources for up to date info. Again, for developers also, it's a problem because they are always pressurized to develop new features, and the focus is more on the enhancements or the on the releases rather than fixing the security bugs, right? So that's the reason, guys. I don't know how many of you know. I am also the lead for this OWASP IBOT project. If you want to start learning iOS pen testing, you can definitely use this project. So this is the free and you can say open source project for the pen testers and for developers. It's just like if you have ever used the damn vulnerable web application for learning the web application security. So you can say this is a damn vulnerable application for your iOS security. So you can start your learning. You can just install this application on your on the real device or the simulator. Even if you have the MacBook and if you want to do that, you can just install that. There is a step-by-step write-ups which you can follow, and you can just start learning like the different issues like local data storage, the reverse engineering, the server-side controls. Again, this application consists of both the client and server side. And believe me, it's a free and open source project, but we have spent, it's not only me, there are different pen testers in the world and developers, which we came together and we have, improved this app at a great level. And you can definitely play around that. It has almost all the issues which we come across in iOS pen test. Even whatever issues I get during the iOS pen test, I always try to add that. So basically, the developers don't have to look into the Stack Overflows and many other resources. They can just, they can just visit this. They can just visit this application and they can start their learning. So this application is developed in both ways, for developers and for the pen testers as well. Again, it's there in the Swift, and it's also there in the Objective-C. Many companies still use the Objective-C because of the legacy applications they have and because of the consumers. So we have support in both applications. So if you see, there are many applications. You can say the Swift came from 2014, right? And many applications are now in the Swift. Okay, but if you see, the Swift applications are written without using Objective-C code. Every Swift application executes inside the Objective-C runtime, so it opens the world of dynamic dispatch and associated runtime manipulation. So when I do iOS pen test, I didn't observe the significant change. There are definitely certain things that changed, but in terms of the iOS decryption and many other things, it works perfectly fine. So if you want to start the iOS pen test, you must if you're working as a bug bounty hunter or the black box pen tester, you must have the iPhone or you must have a rooted iPhone. But if you're working as a product security engineer where you have access to the source code of the application, then you can make use of iOS simulator. Because you have the access to the source code, so you can just run the simulator and you can use that. But in case if you don't have the source code access, then you must have the rooted phone. So decrypting application is quite straightforward. You can also use these Frida script, Frida dump, and I have also written a blog step by step. We don't have much time to go through all the demos, but I have written the step-by-step approach, like how you can decrypt any iOS application which is available on the App Store. And this is a quick video. I'm sure it will be like 1 minute. So you can say that I'm decrypting the Twitter applications. As Twitter, I'm decrypting. I selected the Twitter application because a Twitter application has a bug bounty program, and you should always take permissions of the vendors before making any pen test. So as they have the pen testing program, you can say that I'm just trying to decrypt the application. And if you see the Python, I use the Frida basically, and you can say it invokes the application. And this is a decryption process. And in the end, it will give me just the IPA file, which will be decrypted. And I can just do all of my interesting stuff, like the strings analysis, the classes, and all of my observations using this .ipa file. You can see the twitter.ipa, which is the decrypted application. And hard-coded secrets, this is the most important part when you're doing the iOS pen test or mobile application pen test in general. You should definitely pay attention to this part. I have personally, I have my own scripts basically, which has lots of regex, which I check against, because based on the hard-coded like AWS or Google or Facebook keys. So I just run those scripts or regex against the binaries, and it gives me if there are certain secrets in the mobile application. I'm planning to open source few of my scripts, but they are still needs to get stable. And after that, I will make sure to make them public. And you can intercept the traffic as you're doing. You can say using the burp suite. You can just set the proxy as usual, like you do for Android application. For HTTPS, you can install the certificate, like Portugal certificate. SSL pinning, you can install the SSL kill switch, and there are also different methods which you can basically use for bypassing the SSL pinning. The Frida is one of the most I use. I highly rely on the Frida. I have my own custom scripts for Frida, and this is a wonderful, you can say the utility if you haven't come across. And there is also release for Frida for Swift, which you can check out. It might be useful in many cases, mostly in manipulating or runtime manipulation for the Swift applications. So objection is also one of the interesting tool, you can say utility. Again, it is powered by on the it's top up on the Freedom, and you can say it has lots of features like dumping keychain and other things. So you can also take a look at the objection, and you can see that I still use objection and to dump the keychain part and other, and it works perfectly fine. And you can see that objection hyphen is like exploring the Twitter application. I can just make all the internal calls, and then I can also analyze the local data storage using the objection. Yeah, I guess I have very strict timelines by the from Julie, so I try my best to cover all of these things in this given uh, time period. So these are my Twitter handlers, and this is my LinkedIn profile. If you have any questions, you can post me, and I will make sure to respond as soon as possible. And whatever you liked, if you have liked anything about the session, you can just tweet with my Twitter handler. And I would like to give gift copies of my book, no matter wherever you are in the world. If the courier reaches to you, then I'll definitely give away these books in this COVID situation. You just have to tweet like what you liked about this session, like just a feedback. Okay. So Julie, do we have time for, and this is my website. If you want to know more, this is my blog and other things. So you can definitely visit the website to know more about the interesting stuff. Yeah. Julie, am I running out of time or?
Yeah, we are out of time, but maybe one thing that I can do is kind of compile all of these questions and see if maybe we can, create some sort of blog or something to kind of share afterwards to answer questions that we couldn't get to today.
Sure, definitely.
Awesome. And I know some folks, so we are recording this, so we will be able to send you the recording. I know some people are interested in also getting the slides, and we can look into that as well. But thank you so much, Swaroop. And thank you all for joining us, and hope you have a great rest of your morning, day, afternoon, wherever you are.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks guys, and stay all of in touch and stay safe. Thanks.
Cheers.